Hi, you guys. Today we're going to be talking about one of my least favorite things. Of course, it's MLMs, but also MLMs that cater towards children as well. And this is a big issue I've seen with one company in particular, that being Amare. Now, I know a lot of MLMs offer products for children, and I think that's gross across the board, generally speaking. But I think Amare takes it a little bit too far because the gist, like how it comes off from their free marketing campaigns that they put on all over their social media for years on end, is that, oh, your child has behavioral problems? Give them a supplement. And this is generally the same crowd because they tout their products as naturopathic. Please. And they're generally speaking the crowd that also shames big pharma, but buy our poo poo powder sticks. It's the other side of the same coin. Don't actually address the issues and the behaviors with professionals who knew more than you, because if you're just a salesperson and you don't have a medical background, then what the so I'm on TikTok, and this woman comes across my page, and it looks like she's wearing a white jacket. So I'm thinking, okay, she's a doctor. I'm assuming. I don't see a name or any qualifications around in this video, but I was like, oh, okay, it seems like probably a medical professional. This came across my feed, and I'm like, why is this coming across? And I'm looking around in the video, and I see at the bottom, it's the suggested search thing is happy juice or happy juice for kids, stuff like that. And I'm immediately gross. It's Amare. Ew. One of my least favorite MLMs, maybe my number one. My number one, because they really go hard for the kids and it's super weird. Anyway, she starts talking about behavioral issues that you might be experiencing with your kid. And then it's just a sales pitch. And she starts of each of her videos off with, hey, I'm a credentialed person, I have a professional education, and ends up recommending MLM poo poo powder sticks. And then I do a little bit more research, and I'm just looking at her profile. Most of the stuff in her link is just links to the MLM products. Now, when there is the average stay at home mom, on social media pitching MLM products, I'm like, they don't know. And that's not as bad. And then I see medical professionals or professionals in any medical capacity, like maybe way far away, but still in that sphere, marketing MLM products. Now I think you're gross. Now we have beef, you and me, because now you're using your education and your credentialing for what I feel like is bad. And I don't think that it is best practice. And I think it's gross. And I think it's very predatory because you are banking on people's trust in medical professionals, those that have it. You're banking on that trust to get people to buy something from you. But let's hear one of them that I saved.
Two supplements your child needs to help with outbursts, anxiousness, and sleep naturally.
Well, let's pause it right there because what? Your child needs a supplement because of their behavior issues. Notice how it's not, let's try A, B, and C before we introduce things into your child's physical body. That should be a telltale sign that something is awry. And that should take the trust of whatever you have for this person, and you should set that trust aside. Okay? And put your red rose colored glasses, put those down as well, and be like, what parent doesn't struggle with that at some point? That doesn't mean we just throw a bunch of products at them or throw a bunch of medication with them at them before we've talked to people who actually are medically tied to our child and understand their needs, understand what's going on. Are there any diagnoses? Is there any help with that before we introduce medication?
My name is I'm a pediatric behavioral nurse specialist. I have my master's degree in psychiatric nursing, and I'm board certified as a child and adolescent psychiatric mental health clinical nurse specialist, and I'm a certified mental wellness coach.
A certified mental wellness coach. That sounds like bullshit. But yeah, that sounds like something that probably came from Amari.
Sometimes people will bring their kids to my office as young as 4, and when we start talking about stress and how stress causes behaviors in kids, they think their kids are too young to experience stress. And in my experience, that is just not true. Even babies can feel the stress and the energy in a room
Please don't give your babies MLM products of any kind. Thank you.
and can be more irritable. And I know I, as an adult, do the same thing. Sometimes you can just feel when things aren't right in a room. and kids are more in tune to that energy than adults are. So there are a few things that I feel like I've seen increase in the last 30 years that I've been in practice, and one is medical issues in kids. Medical
Yeah, and when there's medical issues in kids, we just need to pump a bunch of supplements. We're not going to talk about if it has any complications with any medication they may or may not be taking. That doesn't matter because this is just a sales pitch.
issues in kids, I feel like, are on the rise. More and more kids are seeing more and more specialists, probably more specialists than my 92-year-old grandma does. But more and more these days, kids are coming to my office and they see me and they see a gastro specialist and they see a neurologist and they see a dermatologist and they see all these people for stuff that nobody can give them a straight answer about. So if you have a child that's going through this, those chronic medical conditions can cause prolonged stress and irritability. Number two, younger and younger, I feel like kids are exposed to more and more adult things, social media bullying issues, in-person bullying, and
Are these things supposed to be what it takes for a child to qualify for MLM poo-poo powder packets? And keep in mind the product for children that I've seen these reps like her promote, the big thing is saffron that I've seen them talk about. You can go buy saffron. It is expensive. You may be able to find it at your grocery store or online from a reputable source, and you need to research to make sure it's good. But the problem that I find with these poo poo powder sticks is 9.9 times out of 10. I'm leaving 0.1% because I haven't seen every MLM. Everyone that I have seen that I can recall has a proprietary blend. And that means that you do not know how much of what ingredient that is disclosed from the proprietary blend is in there. So if you have saffron, this is your saffron. And let's say I have some like tiny little pieces of powder. This is my saffron because it is expensive too. Keep that in mind. I don't blame them for being very cautious about it. If I'm not saying this is what Amare is doing, I'm just giving you perspective about proprietary blends based on what I know. They could have gone like this. This is the whole batch of poo poo powder sticks that they're making, and it's on the label. It's got saffron in it. You can look up all the benefits of saffron for yourself, but you don't know how much is in there. And you also don't know because you're just a person on the internet trying to get some help with your kid, I'm assuming, if you're like a regular follower of hers, and you don't really know what questions to ask. How much of saffron or whatever ingredients are in there do I need to be effective? And what would be the effective dose for my child based on a list of criteria? I think it's also very gross and very telling and very predatory that she is not putting disclaimers off the bat. You notice when you hear lawyers talking, they're like, I'm not your lawyer and this is not legal advice. And they're just giving those disclaimers out there. She's not giving disclaimers and she's not saying, hey, look out for X, Y, and Z before you take this product. I haven't heard take this product I'm going to talk about next and take it to your pediatrician that works with your child and their specific needs.
school stressors, and also being more aware of the financial or relational situation of their parents or their friends' parents or all the people that are involved in their lives. So kids often express stress by being moody and emotional, isolative. Even if they're in the same room with you and they're trolling on their phone, they are isolating. They're not engaged in what's going on in the room around them. Or
It's interesting. So it looks like she wrote this down in her notes. But if she's been working, if all this is true, if she's been working with kids for this amount of time, I would think. I'm not doubting. I'm not saying. I'm not trying to be a hater because somebody's taking notes and reading off them. Absolutely not. I'm just saying it's interesting that you can't just rattle off these very basic facts. Why do we have to look that up? Why do we need notes? If she just needs some notes and that's all it is, okay. But it's odd that these very basic things that she's addressing, she can't just rattle off. I don't know.
maybe you notice that they have outbursts over every little thing, every single thing you ask them to do, or even if you say hi to them, they rip your face off. I see kids age 4 and up in my practice, as I mentioned earlier. So much of it is stress related.
Can I pause it there for the 80th time? If I saw my kid's doctor on social media shilling MLM products, they will not be going there again. They will not be seeing that doctor because I know better. Because I know how MLM impacts everything you do. Everything. And I don't know a single MLMer that can separate church and state, let's just put it that way, like it's supposed to be separate. Okay? Because everything has to get intertwined. And you got to know as any sort of professional or anyone putting yourself out there online, people like they can find that information that you are on here shilling MLM products. You are breaking trust, but I'm sure that doesn't matter. I feel like you're breaking trust with your patients' parents because the kids aren't going to know better. But of course, who cares about that? Because it's just sales to the parents. We're not really caring about the kids at this point. It's just sales to the parents, and we're being gross.
Um, but nothing is really approved for kids that age for stress or mood or behavior or any of the things. And younger kids are more susceptible to the side effects or adverse.
And notice how she's not saying, hey, let's try some behavior based modalities to work with our kids. She's not giving us a list. And no, I didn't go through her whole profile. So she might have done that, but I think it should be said in every video. So it's not so obvious that it's just a sale.
Effects of medications, and we're not sure what they do long term in kids that start on medication that young. So elevated stress hormone in kids, or cortisol, causes irritability, moodiness, sleeplessness, weight gain, all kinds of things, because it keeps your body from making its own serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, which are our happy chemicals. They help us to feel good or feel a sense of accomplishment or feel happy, or also get rest to go to sleep. So here's what I recommend for my patients that are looking for a natural approach to gut health and improving their mood. One is strain-specific probiotics, prebiotics, and phytonutrients specifically for anxiousness and depressed mood for improved gut microbiome and improving production of serotonin, dopamine, and GABA to improve your mood. And two are neuronutrients such as lychee fruit, palm fruit, and mango leaf that help with focus, concentration, and retention, which is also something a lot of kids struggle with these days. If this is your child, check out the link for Kids Happy Juice in my bio. Or
I'm not saying that you need to go have negative interactions with this person. Absolutely not. Absolutely do not go to the comment section and be rude to them, mean to them. None of that. I do not support that. Any sort of messiness online to harass her. However, you need to be looking out for these things with your medical professionals. This isn't me trying to say don't trust people, but if you become privy to the fact that your medical professional is shilling MLM products, you need to start putting them walls up and asking some questions and doing some thinking on what you think about them doing that. Even if it's in their free time, I maybe as a medical professional and you're just doing it willingly, yeah, I think it should be heavily scrutinized because I find it to be absolutely distasteful, disgusting, and grossly unprofessional. Grossly unprofessional.
Kids, and I will send you the link with more information. The link includes a coupon and a 90-day money-back guarantee. I recommend it for my patients. There's no risk of side effects, and
that's absolutely sick to me. Sick. Because there's already discourse of people feeling mistrust with their medical professionals because they don't understand how certain things get billed and whatever in the medical system. And they feel like doctors recommend medication X, Y, and Z because they make however much off of that. So they're pushing medications because they make money off of it. Well, this is going to prove those people's fear. But even more directly, because this money goes through like this whole mess in MLM, regardless of what you think about it, and comes back to her pockets directly. So she directly benefits from it. It's not going through some sort of like medical coding system and getting worked in and verified by professionals. This is just coming back to her pockets.
Is specifically designed for kids. Once you purchase, I will reach out to you personally to ensure that this protocol works for you and your child and will be available for text coaching and support for you and your child as you move forward through this natural journey. Thank you and have an amazing.
It's not a natural journey if you are recommending supplements and poo-poo powder packets. So it's not as natural as you think. It's a step below pharmaceuticals, sure. That doesn't mean it's safe, and that doesn't mean it's safe for your child. Let's hear another one if that wasn't enough for you. Oh, and here's someone in her comments. You can see the searches ADHD supplements kids. And I can understand people not wanting to give their kids like pharmaceuticals right off the bat. That's very scary. Absolutely. Yeah, that's terrifying. Can you just tell me what products to exactly buy? Thank you. A commenter says. She says, there's more info and a coupon for Kids Happy Juice in my bio, or feel free to reach out to the number in my bio. You see how she didn't refer back to any of the other supplements, like the other two that she mentioned? Notice how she didn't say, oh, this brand for, probiotics in general, or check on the strains that might be beneficial for your kid, cross reference with your medical professional in your life. It's about the sale. She's telling on herself. Someone commented on her video, which I thought was hilarious. And this is a different video. Said tart cherry juice from the store. I drank tart cherry juice when I, uh, I want to say it was a few years ago. And I did feel like in the beginning it did help me get a little sleepy. But then I don't really think it worked after that. So I might have just been a fluke. I don't know. It was delicious though. Okay, but nobody's talking about the credentials. Heart hands, thank you. Nobody's talking about it in a negative way because we're just trusting people on the internet. Not something you should be doing, especially a medical professional shilling MLM products. Red flags, walls should be raised. When you mentioned your credentials, ultimate girl boss. Thank you. I appreciate your kindness. And then someone below comments, get the kiddos moving, fun, running, playing, limited screen time. All of which I have not seen her bring up before and or after, actually at any time, these being something that is important. But I think it's interesting that it's all about the sales pitch for selling the MLM product. And it's not about, hey, try these very basic things first. Like since she has no problem having such an elementary approach to things, why are we not starting there? Hey, let's reduce screen time by, like, if your kid has a lot of screen time, why are we not suggesting things? I am not a professional. Why are we not saying things like, oh, maybe like we subtract 5 minutes each time, or we establish a time limit? Like, and it can be like huge. Like, if your kid's spending 2 hours on the iPad, okay, we set the timer for 2 hours. And you're meeting them where they're at because at the end of the day, it's your fault. So, meeting them where they're at, and then you're subtracting time every time and letting them know ahead of time, giving them warnings. Like, why is none of this being implemented? And I'm not a professional, so if that's a horrible idea, you can let me know. But I think it would be something to say first at an elementary level before we recommend supplements for the kids. Why is that the first thing?
The best all natural supplement to help your child sleep, and it is not melatonin.
I'm assuming we're not going to hear getting outside, exercise, lots of brain stimulation. And I don't mean like staring at screens. I mean like making them think. Are they school age? Are they ready? Or can we be doing more educational activity at home? Can we do more like motor skill building? Like, I'm assuming we're not going to hear that. I don't remember this one exactly.
I'm a pediatric behavior nurse specialist. I have a master's degree in psychiatric nursing, and I'm board certified as a child and adolescent psychiatric mental health clinical nurse specialist. I'm also a certified mental wellness coach. So when I talk to parents about sleep, there are always some questions I ask. So one is are they having trouble falling asleep? Are they having trouble staying asleep?
And if they are, let's not explore any sort of normal life scenarios that could be happening and contributing there. Let's just shut them up with the supplement.
What's their sleep quality? Do they wake up rested? Are they waking up irritable still? And how do they sleep during the night? Are they restless? Are they moving around all over the place? Are they the kid that falls out of bed every night? Or the kid that gets up every night in the middle of the night and comes sleeps with you, which is exactly what every parent wants. The decision to give your child medication for sleep is a huge one. I know myself whenever.
But I can't imagine it's the first action you should be taking without a doctor's guidance.
Whenever I was trying to decide about even a supplement for my kid, it took me a long time to decide that. But when you think about how disruptive is the sleep to them, I mean, how are they functioning during the day? How disruptive is the sleep to your house? How disruptive is it to everyone, and how does it affect their mood and behavior during the day? So until 8 months ago, this was a difficult decision for me. My choices were melatonin, which is a synthetic hormone and actually not recommended for children under 10 and not recommended for long-term use, adult blood pressure medications, or antihistamines. So all of which carry their own amount of side effects and risks.
What do you mean those were your options? Like your own medication options? Like let's really like please, as a medical professional, you should want, if you are actually currently holding credentials, you should want to be so specific and so careful with your words along with those disclaimers. Why are you not protecting yourself? What so the fuck ever?
So I tell parents every day that there are a lot of things that will help put your kid to sleep, but there are not a lot of things that will help keep your kid asleep. So, and there are no medications approved for insomnia in children. Like I said, we were talking about.
Right, so let's just get willy fucking nilly with natural supplements. Let's just throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks.
About other things. You're talking about antihistamines and blood pressure medications. So then I was introduced to a truly all natural supplement. It's actually
It truly actually isn't, because there's nothing, and maybe I just take it too far. There's truly no truly natural supplement, and it's a processed poo poo powder steak. Please, please shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of hearing Amare reps talk about it's holistic, it's naturopathic. Think before you speak, especially as a medical professional. You would probably be able to guess, not that you're an industry professional and how these things are created, but you could probably deduce from your credentials that you don't go pick some saffron in the middle of Ohio, grind it up in a little mortar and pestle pedal in one of those little things, and all the ingredients just get dried out on a tray in the sun and then ground up in a mortar and pestle and then placed into the poo poo powder stick package and shipped off to be given to children willy nilly. You can't be serious. And it's a proprietary blend. I want to add something that during editing I had thoughts on. So she mentioned that she's going to get you signed up with the products and make sure that they're right for you and your child. Is she using her credentials and her medical experience to provide medical advice for free? Like, is she charging on top of that? Like, how does that work? The ethics that are going into this are highly questionable at best, I think. I also wonder what Amare would think about this. Selling in the workplace, I guess, wouldn't be Amare's concern, but I wonder if her place of employment would care, because that sounds really frightfully unprofessional to recommend to patients, number one. But number two, like at the workplace, unless she's at a private practice where I guess you can be unethical behind closed doors all you want until you get caught.
made from corn grass. So corn, a couple of months ago here in Southern Illinois, it was this tall. And that is when it has the highest amount of 5-HTP in it. And so 5-HTP is what we have to have in our bodies to make our own melatonin and serotonin. And so that is how this supplement works to help your kids fall asleep, but also to help keep them asleep. So
Right, because there's no other fucking options out there that can accomplish the same goal. It has to be the MLM one, because you need to benefit financially. Like, are you not doing that good at your current practice? How's that going?
it is safe to use in kids 2 and over. It doesn't have the potential to affect puberty like long-term use of melatonin can, and it also will not cause nightmares or vivid dreams, as a lot of kids will report on melatonin. It doesn't cause excessive drowsiness or daytime hangover like you can get with some of the antihistamines and the blood pressure medications. So if you're looking for an all-natural sleep supplement and are concerned about the long-term effects of synthetic melatonin, the sleep supplement in my link in the bio is the answer to your prayers.
Sick. This is absolutely sick and twisted. And you might be watching this and think I'm being dramatic and it's really not that bad. It is. And it might take you a while to also arrive at the conclusion that this is not someone to trust. That is how I feel. And I think a lot of people who are aware of how predatory MLMs and the people who do free marketing campaigns for them, like the reps I'm talking about, how deluded you can get to where you think it's appropriate to use your credentials to back up what you're doing on the internet, and also how deluded you have to be to think it's appropriate to recommend that to patients that you're seeing in a professional capacity.
Gentle sleep, no daytime hangover effect, and no side effects. The link includes a coupon, a 90-day money-back guarantee, and once you order, I will personally reach out to you and work with you to ensure that this supplement works for you and your child. So drop sleep in the comments or head on over to my bio and check out the link on kids.
I think we're gonna have to do it. I think we're gonna have to look up some credentials here. Obviously, I have her blurred out and her name blurted out. Because personally, I don't want people to go on like a mass reporting spree or something. I don't know if that's what needs to be done. And I also don't want to be the reason for a witch hunt online ever. So I do have her blurred out, but I'm going to look it up and let you guys know if I can find anything on if she is a medical professional. If you like this video, give it a little likesy poo. If you've commented or shared with the class, please leave that down below. Do not go harass this person if you somehow know who she is. She's not big on the internet, but if you know who she is, do not go harass her or anything like that. If you have commented with the class, leave it in my comment section. And if you super like this video, share with your besties and make sure you are subscribed so you get to see all of my videos. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one.